In the late 18th century, America was on the brink of upheaval. The Continental Congress emerged as a beacon of hope. Its members, noble architects of freedom, were engulfed in chaos. This was a story shadowed by fear, betrayal, and sacrifice. Factions threatened unity, with British forces closing in. Decisions made here would alter history. The Congress was a trial of resilience and frailty. We will uncover the shadows behind the grand narrative. Before the Continental Congress, the colonies simmered with discontent. British policies, oppressive and exploitative, sowed the seeds of rebellion. The Stamp Act, the Townshend Acts, and the Boston Massacre were sparks in a powder keg. Anger and frustration festered. The air was thick with talk of independence. The British Empire was formidable. Many colonists were reluctant to sever ties. Rebellion meant risking everything: lives, fortunes, and sacred honor. Leaders like Samuel Adams and Patrick Henry rallied the people. Their speeches ignited revolution, but trepidation lingered. The stage was set for the Continental Congress to convene. In September 1774, delegates from 12 colonies gathered in Philadelphia. This first Continental Congress was a tentative step towards unity. They came with diverse agendas and conflicting interests. The task of forging a cohesive strategy was daunting. The delegates were a mix of radicals and moderates. John Adams and Thomas Jefferson championed independence. Others, like John Dickinson, sought reconciliation with Britain. The debates were intense, often erupting in heated arguments. The vision of a united front seemed a distant dream. Yet, despite the discord, they managed to draft a Declaration of Rights. They agreed on economic boycotts and issued a call for militias. These were bold steps, but the road ahead was perilous. The Congress was a fledgling body, fragile and vulnerable. Their actions were met with swift retaliation from Britain. The situation spiraled into open conflict with the battles of Lexington and Concord. The Second Continental Congress convened in May 1775 under even more dire circumstances. The war had begun and the stakes were higher than ever. As the war raged on, the Continental Congress grappled with immense challenges. The British military was well equipped and disciplined. The Continental Army, led by George Washington, faced shortages of supplies and training. The brutal realities of war took a heavy toll on the fledgling nation. Battles were fought with valor and desperation. The siege of Boston, the Battle of Bunker Hill, and the harsh winter at Valley Forge tested the resolve of the Patriots. Each victory came at a steep price, and losses were devastating. The Congress struggled to maintain morale and support. Funding the war was a constant struggle. The Congress had no power to tax and relied on loans and donations. Inflation soared, and the economy teetered on the brink of collapse. The burden of war weighed heavily on every colony. The promise of liberty seemed a distant dream. Amidst the chaos, the Congress faced criticism and doubt. Some questioned their leadership and decisions. The weight of expectations was immense. They were not just fighting a war, but also managing a fragile alliance. Every decision was a gamble with the fate of the nation. The Continental Congress was not immune to internal strife. Factions emerged, driven by regional interests and personal ambitions. The debates grew more contentious as the war dragged on. Unity was often a mirage, shattered by conflicting priorities and egos. The rivalry between John Adams and Benjamin Franklin was emblematic of the discord. Adams, fiery and unyielding, clashed with Franklin's pragmatic diplomacy. Their disagreements spilled into policy decisions, affecting the war effort. The personal animosities often overshadowed the common cause. Financial woes further strained relations. The southern colonies resented the economic burdens disproportionately placed on them. Northern merchants chafed at disruptions to trade. The Congress struggled to balance these competing demands while keeping the war effort afloat. The internal discord reached a peak with the Conway Cabal. This conspiracy aimed to replace George Washington with a more aggressive commander. The plot failed, but it exposed the deep rifts within the leadership. Trust was eroded, and unity seemed ever more elusive. While the prominent figures of the Continental Congress are celebrated, many unsung heroes toiled in the shadows. These individuals made significant contributions yet remain largely unrecognized. Their sacrifices and efforts were vital to the cause of independence. Women played crucial roles, often behind the scenes. Figures like Abigail Adams and Mercy Otis Warren provided intellectual and moral support. They organized boycotts, managed households, and offered counsel. Their resilience and dedication were pillars of the revolutionary effort. Minority figures also made their mark. Crispus Attucks, an African American, became a martyr in the Boston Massacre. Native Americans like Thayendanegea, also known as Joseph Brant, navigated complex alliances. Their involvement added layers to the struggle for liberty, often overlooked in historical narratives. The common soldiers and civilians bore the brunt of the war. Their stories of endurance and sacrifice are a testament to the human spirit. The Continental Congress relied on their unwavering support. The shadows behind the spotlight held the fabric of the revolution together. The darkest hours of the Continental Congress were marked by desperation and despair. The winter at Valley Forge epitomized the suffering endured. Soldiers endured freezing temperatures, starvation, and disease. Morale was at an all-time low, and the future looked bleak. The Congress faced mounting pressure as defeats piled up. The fall of New York and Philadelphia were severe blows. The British seemed unstoppable, and the hope of victory waned. Desperation led to drastic measures, including seeking foreign alliances. Internal crises compounded the external threats. The defection of Benedict Arnold was a bitter betrayal. His treason shocked the nation and underscored the fragile nature of loyalty. The Congress struggled to maintain cohesion in the face of such treachery. Amidst these challenges, the resilience of the leaders shone through. They navigated through the darkest hours with grit and determination. Their ability to endure and adapt was crucial. The shadows of despair could not extinguish the flame of rebellion. Despite the overwhelming odds, a flicker of hope began to emerge. The alliance with France in 1778 was a turning point. French support provided much-needed resources and military aid. The tide of the war began to shift in favor of the Continental Army. Key victories rekindled the spirit of the Revolution. The Battle of Saratoga was a decisive triumph, boosting morale and gaining international recognition. The Siege of Yorktown in 1781 marked the beginning of the end. The British surrender was a monumental victory. the Congress worked tirelessly to capitalize on these gains. Diplomatic efforts secured peace treaties and furthered international support. The resilience of the delegates and their ability to persevere paid off. The path to victory was paved with countless sacrifices and relentless effort. The shadows of rebellion began to recede as the light of independence grew stronger. The triumphs were hard-won and fraught with challenges. Yet, the unwavering determination of the Congress and its allies led to an ultimate victory. The flicker of hope had ignited a new era. The legacy of the Continental Congress is one of profound sacrifice and enduring impact. Their struggles laid the foundation for the United States. The principles they fought for resonate through history. The sacrifices made were immense. They risked their lives for liberty. The impact is evident in our constitutional republic system. Their legacy is a testament to resilience and collective effort. Their legacy is a beacon for future generations.